Hi, welcome. This is 2Heads Talks, and we are going to do a deep dive on a new member of the EventHive family, EventHive VX, which is 2Heads' own internal virtual experience platform for hosting virtual and hybrid events now and in the future. So let's jump in. So what we see over here, we've got the sort of welcome screen basically. So I'm going to run you through a little bit of the experience as a user would see it. So I'm going to log in as a host, so I'll have a bit more functionality available to me. And what we see when we first jump in is our sort of splash page for this event. Now we're running a demo event here, but we're going to look at the functionality and look at the feature set, which will hopefully allow you to kind of have a blank canvas from which you can run all sorts of different online events, whether internal or external facing. You can see there's a few things going on. At the top, we've got our demo sort of title and the time. It's a centralized time for anyone logging in across the world to simplify the time zone issues. Going down the page, we have three areas of key functionality here in the middle. We've got our live streams, where any sort of live broadcast will be pumped through. You can have multiple simultaneous live streams at the same time. We've got our Vault section here, so this is our media library. So any kind of media content, images, documents, any kind of branded content you've got can be hosted there. We'll show that off in a minute. And then finally, we've got what we're calling our game section. So this is really interactive content. So things like virtual tours, interactive spaces, applications, microsites, that can all live within this sort of this game section. So going down the page, we've also got a key area here, which is our sort of interactive timeline. So what this does is really give visitors and attendees a really good picture of what's happening at the event for them. So this is their unique event fingerprint. So anything to the left side of a screen is stuff that's happened in the past. Anything right in the middle is stuff that's happening right now, so things that are just being launched, just being scheduled to release, live streams that are just happening now. And then anything on the right-hand side of the screen is stuff that's going to come in the future. So that means it could be media items that are being scheduled for release. It could be meetings I've got coming up. It could be different segments of an ongoing live stream. It could be generic notifications. And so the idea here is really building up a sort of active feeling to an event, which again is personalized. So anything on this timeline can be individualized for single users, for groups of users, or for everyone attending the event. So for example, if I have a VIP, I might want to push certain content to them, or if I have attendees coming from a certain brand or group company, I might also want to give those users a specific experience. And I can really do that and make that visible with a timeline. So you can see there's icons arrayed along the timeline. If I click these, this basically highlights what content that relates to. So there's generic sort of icons for different types of content. And then just by opening up this kind of deeper view here, I can really get a good view on what's happening across the whole event. And you can see here we've got a couple of days in this particular demo event, and there's stuff happening across those days. And importantly, it's great to be able to catch up and see what's already happened, so I can go back and review stuff, whether it's media, whether it's live stream content that's been recorded, and be able to go back in time as well as forward in time. And why do we show stuff off that's kind of going to happen in time on this timeline? We feel it's a really important thing to build a sense of anticipation and build a sense of a reason to stick around. Because often with websites, it's easy just to go on for 5 minutes, click a bit of content you're interested in, and then sign off. So that's a really sort of light sort of interaction with your brand. And so in order to build the exposure people have to the brand and build the dwell time you have on this application or this event, scheduling content out across a number of days really sort of helps to sort of gamify that attendance and encourage people to come back multiple times and stick around for new things. So that's the timeline. So that's a really cool key feature we're building out. Then in the top right, we've got a few sort of interesting functions here as well. On the basic level, we've got our sort of profile, so I can get myself an avatar. Those might be related to the brand or just generic. I can upload a profile picture if I want to. And here I can make myself available or private. And what that means is in the networking side of the application, in the communication side, so chat, and video calls, I can make myself visible or invisible. So if I want to have a sort of a session where I'm just talking to, people from meetings I've got scheduled, or if I just want to sort of privately browse, then I can do that. But if I want to have a more sort of communal sort of group experience, then I can enable this networking, and then I'll be visible so I can talk to other people who might be attending, as well as the hosts of the event. If I go now to my notifications here, I can see that we're duplicating some of the information that's held on the timeline. So a lot of the scheduled content you can see appear up there. But also, this is a great place where if, as an organizer, I want to send messages to people or send messages to groups, I can do that from the back end, and then that will all appear in this notifications area. So for example, you might want to entice people like, head over to the media library to check out this one piece of content, or don't forget in half an hour we've got so-and-so coming for a Q&A session. So I can really speak directly to attendees through this sort of central notifications area. And I can show you how those come in live in a little bit as well. And then finally, most importantly, I suppose, we've got the sort of chat area. So this is our sort of central communications portal. So we've got 3 key bits of functionality here. The first bit is this public chat. This is a public message board where anyone attending the event can talk to each other. Then if we go across here, we've got our private chat. So this is the area where I would schedule meetings. I can have chat conversations with individuals or with groups. I can also have individual or group video calls too. So you can see I've got a couple of existing chats here I can quickly click in to look at. But also if I want to make a new conversation, just go down to the bottom here, click New Chat. I can select the people I want to talk to. I can see down here a longer list if I want to, just to make sure I've got everyone I need in the meeting. And I'm jumped into a conversation here. If I want to make that a video call, I just simply activate my video call option, and then I will pop up here in a second. Hi. And also other people in the meeting will be notified that a call has started, and they can also join in the call. Here we've got the assistant area. So the assistant basically is a representative of your brand who's able to help people on technical issues if they're struggling to use the platform. If they've got questions about specific products or services that you're offering or you're demoing through the platform during the event, this is kind of like their sort of go-to person who can help them out. So I can sort of message the assistant anytime, it's like, can you help? And we'll go back to this functionality when we look at the back end and see how that conversation can play out. Crucially, I suppose, this assistant can be manned by multiple people from your staff on the back end. So if you have an expert, say on the technical side, they can see technical questions coming in, claim those, and then address them directly. So the best people are always responding to the queries from customers or attendees that match their skill sets or their knowledge sets, I suppose. You can also have this chat up when you're doing other stuff. So I can always have this sidebar visible. So wherever I am in the site, wherever I am in the event, I can always sort of communicate, see people, see what's going on. So now we're going to have a look at some other key functionality in a bit more detail. So we'll start with live stream. So if I click visit now on this live stream, I can see that I've got a video player here. I've got the title of my live stream content. I can hit play. And I've got a local stream running here as an example. So we've just got a holding slate running. But you can see this is streaming live, and we're using a tool called Mux to securely and stream that content in encrypted sort of manner. And so you can see if I switch over now to my OBS, my sort of vision mixing tool, that's the content we're streaming, and you can see the stream happening down there. So it's all sort of working out. So the next area of functionality we're going to look at would be the media library, so the Vault. So I'm going to head over to Vault now and hit visit. And you'll see basically this is a really familiar sort of Netflix style library where at the top we have our featured content. I'm just going to minimize our sidebar just so I can see this better. So this is content you want to highlight throughout the event. It might be some key videos, key Q&As, key interviews, key product demos, for example. And I can sort of scrub through this in a sort of carousel sort of fashion like that. As I click into this, then I can see you've got a normal media player here, which I can sort of hit play on and see my video. And also if I hit details, then I'm going to be able to see some kind of key top level information about the show. I've got some associated content in the form of images here in this slideshow. And then I've also got associated content. So if I want to attach PDFs, presentations, additional content to a specific video, maybe data sheets for a product, for example, then I can do that here. So it's really easily accessible and attendees don't really have to search around too much or ask too much to get that content. So heading back to the Vault now, the rest of the content going down the screen, this is our sort of regular content, and this is ordered by date. So the newest stuff's appearing at the front, and as stuff is scheduled for release, then that will sort of update and get added to this list. So you can see, looking at my timeline, I've actually got 2 media items here, which are scheduled for about an hour, hour and a bit's time. If I click that, I can see that, okay, this is a show I've got sort of coming up. And so again, we're sort of building that anticipation and making this feel more like a live event by scheduling content. The media library is fully searchable, so I can hit search up here and type in different items, and my results come up there. So there's just one item that is related to that keyword. And also I can sort of look through categories and sort of categorize my content as well, so that again, people can find what they're looking for much more easily. So the next area we're going to look at is the game section. So this is where our interactive content is going to live. So if we head over there now, what we'll see is a carousel of different types of content. So we've got some demo stuff in here again, and we're just going to show an example of a space which can be sort of embedded within this platform. And really we can embed anything. So again, it can be 2D content, 3D content, applications, existing microsites. So if I click through, you'll see there's a frame here, and that frame is where we can put 3D content, we can put WebGL experiences, virtual tours, product demonstrations, applications that already exist. So we wanted to make this as flexible as possible to offer as many options as possible for engagement during the event. So clicking through to this example, you can see that this is a fully explorable sort of 3D space that lives directly within the app. And this is being hosted on a totally separate server and just embedded directly in the site like this. So this is a great way to sort of take existing content or build new content in, but with the knowledge that it can be used within this platform anytime. So this is again really our blank canvas where interactive content can sit. So this is the management area. This is a CMS for the system. So as a host here, I can control anything across a single event or multiple events simultaneously. So you can see here we've got a couple of demos set up. So our demo event is the one we've been in currently. So if I hit switch to, that means now we're sort of editing this event. So as an administrator, I can do all sorts of things. If I hit on the left here, live streams, you can see that my live stream content can be edited there. I've got a preview of a stream that's been sort of linked up to the system. So you should be able to see the live stream we had running there. And I can also kind of add chapter markers, I can schedule this, I can control all sorts of information here really simply in a visual way. The next area will be media. So here, media is where I see all my media items that are loaded in the system. Again, if I click through, I can set cover images, I can set descriptions, I can schedule this content as well. And there are media categories as well I can sort of add and edit here. Then the game section, this is where our interactive content's held. So if I go to the Virtual Innovation Hub where we just were, we can see that my embed codes are here and the cover image and the details are there. This next area is the new chat requests. So as a sort of administrator, anyone who messages an admin through the Assistant tab can actually contact me through HIS. So let's set up a quick demo. I'm going to go back to the front end. I'm going to open my messages and type a quick hello. Can you help? Press send. So in the back end now, if I head to my chat, I can see these messages have popped up here. So I can say, what is the problem? Hit send. And so now on the front end as a user, I can see that message popped up. And again, I can jump into a video call here as well if we want to go into more detail, etc. And as a super user, I can see all the chat kind of going on in the system with different users from a host perspective and sort of manage that as well. We can see all the users who are sort of added to this particular event, add new people from an existing list or send invites out via email. I can add my user groups. So here you can see I've got a VIP group, I've got an R&D group, and I've got my all user group. So hitting into VIP, I can see that I can assign media content, I can assign games or interactive experiences to those people, and I can add guests to that list. So this is my notifications section. So as a host, I can actually send notifications to individuals, to groups, or to everyone at the event who's attending. So I can say, this is an announcement, hit send, and then if I go over to my main event, I can see in the top right here, this notification toast has popped up. And also, if I miss that, I can head over here and see all the previous notifications that have been pushed through the system by the hosts of the event. So that's the core functionality around the platform as it stands. There's a huge development pipeline and a roadmap that we've got going on, so there's going to be new features added all the time. Big new releases coming in November and December of 2020. So this has been a really quick demo of the platform. You can see it's a great blank canvas on which you can do a lot of kind of engaging and sort of interactive event work, both in the virtual space, but also in the hybrid space going forwards. So please do get in touch. We're able to book demos, to do trial accounts, to talk about other features like scalability, security, privacy, which are really key. So again, thank you for watching, and we'll speak to you soon.